Today we're going to talk about Shanann Watts. This was definitely one of the most famous true crime stories in the 2000s. Shanann was born Shanann Ruzick, who met her husband Chris Watts on Facebook in 2010, and they got married in 2012. They moved from North Carolina to Colorado. Now, I feel like already we're off to a rocky start. If you remember, Colorado is where a lot of really strange things happen. And I mean really strange things. We can talk about that another time. Their marriage was going well. So well that they welcomed their first daughter, Bella, in 2013. Soon after, their second daughter, Celeste, was born in 2015. So they settled in Colorado and they buy this huge new home. It's beautiful. And you start to see all of these Facebook images about Shanann and her husband, along with their beautiful family, posted online. And everything looks absolutely perfect. See, to me, there's already red flags going off. Whenever I see someone posting a lot of pictures, and they're wanting everything to come across as everything is amazing, and oh, my husband is the best, and we do all these amazing things together. Not to say that those things can't be true, but it's almost like you're forcing this image on everybody else. And I would already see that as like, what's really going on in your home for you to be posting so much about your personal life. But at the same time, Shanann was one of those boss babes that made her money on social media, okay? I'm not that girl. I'm definitely not that girl. I cannot get people to sign up for anything. I try to post things and people are just like, hey, I haven't heard from you in 3 years. Why are you posting? Why are you trying to send me stuff about this new product you're trying to sell? But Shanann was not like that. So it was actually part of her business. So, I may give her a pass on that. This is how she makes her money. So posting about her family was a way that she actually could take care of her family. And that's what she did. And she was really good at it. So one of the reasons Shanann was pushing so hard is because they were actually drowning in a lot of debt. They did have a beautiful home, but along with that came a lot of debt. So this would explain why she was pushing so hard. In 2018, Shanann announces that she's pregnant with their third baby, which happens to be baby Nico.
So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. It's the test.
Around this same time, she goes to visit her family in North Carolina. So in North Carolina, Shanann notices that her husband, who stayed behind, is beginning to act very distant and isn't wanting to talk to her as much. One thing I would say is, which I didn't mention this before, but her trip was 5 weeks long. And I know if you're going, to visit your family you haven't seen in a long time, you would want to make the most out of that trip. To me, 5 weeks is a very long time to be without your spouse. And it was around this time that Chris started having an affair with a woman that works for the same company he works for, and her name is Nicole Kessinger. Something that I have learned a lot from watching true crime is that when women are pregnant, they are at their most vulnerable state, and I mean relationship-wise. This is usually when men will have affairs, and it's actually when a lot of women lose their lives. They end up in domestic situations where they end up unalived. Don't want to say the other word. And Shanann was pregnant at the time, and then she was also away from her husband for a long period of time.
Airplane. I know.
To me, that already kind of like red flags all over the place. It's like, I don't know if this is the best time for you to be away from your husband. That would be maybe the advice I would give to Shanann if I were her friend. So during this trip, the problems that they were having really just like expanded and became really like visible to Shanann. They were already having some problems, but her being away, it just set off alarm bells for her. And she noticed that Chris was becoming extremely distant, and she tried to call him, tried messaging him, and he wasn't acting normal. So when he did come to visit his family in North Carolina for that last week, Shanann really saw the difference in Chris. So this whole time that she was away, he had been with Nicole. Literally for the past month, he was with Nicole unrestricted because his family was gone, and she could feel the tension between them. There was like, okay, who is this person? Why is he acting that way? And that's, you know, as Shanann's friend, I would definitely say, like, I think he's having an affair on you. Like, that would be my very first inclination of how he's acting. And I would be like, girl, get ready, because it's about to be drama. So they returned from North Carolina after a long trip away. And literally the next month, Shanann is gone out of town again because she has a business trip.
Hey guys, so we're gonna go hit up the streets of New Orleans, get some really yummy food, and go to Cafe Du Monde because they're the best. And we'll see you guys later. I gotta save my battery life anyway. So, bye guys.
With her friend who also works for like the same company that Shanann works for, selling things online. And before Shanann leaves, she's really trying to engage with Chris, and he's giving her nothing. Like, I remember she said she was trying to be intimate with him. This is what she tells her friend who she's on the trip with. She's like, I don't know what's wrong with this guy. Like, I'm trying to be intimate with him, and he's just not biting. He knows my signals that I give off, because we all give off those signals. He knows those signals, and he's just like completely not interested. So as Shanann's friend, if I were Shanann's friend, I would definitely say, girl, like, I think it's time to get a lawyer. I think it's kind of done with. Like, I mean, I understand everybody wants to work on their relationship, but it seems like he's just not interested. And Shanann actually says that in one of her messages. She's just like, I think he's done with me. I think he's tired of me. And I know that's a really hard pill to swallow, especially if you're pregnant and you have 2 kids with this person. But the way he was acting is definitely a red flag. Of course, it's not a big enough red flag for you to predict what happened, but I would definitely be on the alert. So Shanann comes home. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Her friend drops her off from the airport. This is sadly when things just really take a turn for the absolute worst. So Shanann was seen on her Ring camera entering her home at 1:48 a.m. and that's the last time anyone has seen her. The next day, the friend that dropped Shanann off, whose name is also Nicole, is kind of going crazy because Shanann had a doctor's appointment in the morning for Nico. And she's like, well, she's not answering the phone. This is just not like her. So being the friend that Nicole is, she calls the police.
I can't get a hold of her. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day right in the front door.
Because this is not like her friend at all. She always answers her phone. Her phone is like her lifeline. Because
Her
phone's here? Her phone's here.
Does she work?
Yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
She works in the Sister Lifeline. Okay, and that thing comes back, now it's gonna start blowing up. Oh yeah, trust me.
It was shut down?
She's in the flat. Yeah.
it's a part of her business. And she tells them something's going on. I don't know what's going on. She calls Chris. Chris is just like, okay, you know, kind of acting nonchalant. And she's just like, okay, that's weird. You don't seem to care about what's happening, which is like sending alarm bells off for her, which, I mean, Nicole is an amazing friend. Like, she's an awesome friend. Hopefully we all have a friend like that. The police finally arrived to Shanann and Chris's home, and this is how Chris acts when the police get there.
You do understand it's completely voluntary. Okay, perfect. So we'll just let her get started, and we'll be in the area.
Okay.
So Chris, I might need your help a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. So where is, I'm assuming your wife Sherry's in bed with you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, let's take a look in there and then talk to your kids. Any dirty laundry that hasn't been touched by anybody else except her? Okay. Is any of your laundry?
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys saw what I saw, but the guy like doesn't even want the police to come in the house. He comes out and he like closes the door. Okay, sir, we're here because your wife is missing and she's supposed to be like, you know, somewhere in the house. We're here to search the house. Like, why are you closing the door? First red flag. It's like he's guarding the door to keep them from coming in, right? So then they finally get into the home. He's like kind of wandering around, like he doesn't know where to go. They're asking him questions and he's giving like these one-word answers, like he really is trying to hold on to as much information as possible.
Chris, when was the last time your wife just went for a walk around the neighborhood?
It's been a long, long time.
Okay. And then how about your kids?
They were in North Carolina for the last 6 weeks, so it was before that.
Okay. And you said you went to a pool party on Saturday, but you drove there and home?
I drove there the same
Okay.
because she was in Arizona at that point.
Okay. All right. We just want to make sure that when the dogs go out on a trail, they're not following something old. Usually it doesn't stick around for more than a week, so
Okay.
that's good news then.
Like, he's not trying to share anything. It's just like, okay, whatever you're gonna ask me so that this can be over and done with. So of course they don't find Shanann, And what's even more heartbreaking is they don't find their 2 daughters, Celeste and Bella, either. The police interview Chris. He even does TV interviews saying, I want them to come home.
I just want them to come back.
You know, he's acting weird, and no one is really buying his story. The police bring him in, and he does a polygraph test, which he fails.
So it is completely clear that you were not honest during the testing, and I think you already know that. You did not pass the polygraph test.
Okay.
Okay. So now we need to talk about what actually happened. I feel like you're probably ready to do that.
And pretty soon after, he confesses to some of the most horrific things that you and I, as true crime watchers, have ever heard. Just be warned that the information I'm going to give next is very disturbing, and it involves child violence as well as pregnant woman violence. So Chris admits while he's in prison that he strangled Shanann the night she returned home, and he smothered his 2 daughters.
Okay.
But it was you saying that you didn't love her, is that right? Okay.
And her saying you're never going to see the kids.
Yeah.
Okay. I can imagine how that made you feel. Sorry.
It didn't warrant what it did.
Yeah. And then the fact that she didn't scratch at you or anything, is that just because it was so powerful?
I don't think it, I mean, it didn't feel like, I've never done that before, put my hands around anybody before, so I don't even know what kind of force I was putting on her neck.
Okay.
And if that didn't add insult to injury, he drove them to an oil field where he works, and he disposed of their bodies. Shanann, he dug a shallow grave for her, and his 2 daughters, with their blankets, he stuffed into a large oil tank on the same property. So here's my mom lesson takeaway. Sometimes, even though we as women feel like we can make things work, it's not meant to work. Shanann was such a strong, powerful, beautiful woman who really wanted to keep her family together. Chris showed her so many different ways how he didn't want that. And when we are in these vulnerable positions, we have to protect ourselves and protect our family, even if it means heartbreak, heartache, but at least we would have our lives. Chris was weird from the beginning. The guy was weird, okay?
Right now it's got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's like they're doing their best right now to figure out like if they can get a scent, see where they went. If they went on foot, they went in a car, or they went somewhere. And right now it's just like they've been on point. They're going through the house trying to get a scent, and hopefully they can pick something up to where it's going to lead to something.
He had a monotone voice. He did not have very good social skills, which you already seem a bit antisocial to me. This is just like me reading people as like, if I met Chris on the street, I would be like, what's up with him? Like something's off with that guy. And I know it's like an intuition and everybody doesn't have it. Women usually do. We should follow it more for sure.